leadership. Maybe you're a man in leadership, and you've been dealing with some issues, some challenges, some high stakes, high pressure meetings that you simply do not know who to talk to about them. Well, today is your lucky day. Today is Friday, and this is when our channel does high stakes Q&A. If you have any specific challenges that you're experiencing right now as it relates to your business, perhaps the organization that you work for, or anything else professionally that you're dealing with, this is your opportunity to ask me questions about those topics. This channel heavily focuses on high stakes communication, and I encourage you to bring to me the challenging situations, the very hard and very difficult situations that you're dealing with. That is my expertise, and I want to help you any way that I can. If you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. And if you are one of my absolutely amazing subscribers, welcome back, friend. We focus on high stakes, high pressure communication on this channel. And if you have not been here before, we have over 1,100 videos here on the channel to help you be able to develop an unfair competitive advantage as it relates to how you communicate under pressure compared to your peers. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me any questions as it relates to this topic specifically, and I'll help you in the way that I can. Now, I did have one person ask me a question and wanted me to talk a bit about it for the live this evening, as this is our Q&A. And if you have any questions as you're watching either the replay or watching live, just let me know in the comments below. But the question was this. This particular person has been following my content on my channel for a while and has been able to elevate how they communicate under pressure with some of the strategies that we talk about here on the channel, in the playlist that I have, and on the live videos, and etc. But the problem that he has been experiencing, he mentioned to me, is that as he is enhancing how he communicates under pressure, he is noticing that the people around him are not at his level in terms of how he communicates. And he was very concerned because he felt like he was in two different worlds. One world, meaning that he's elevating and communicating at a higher level than his peers. And the second world is that he was still stuck with people that did not communicate at that level. And he asked me to talk about this during a live and give some insight and some strategies in terms of how should he manage this? What should he do? How to manage this in-between place when you are trying to do something better, but you are in an environment where it is the same old thing all the time. I'm going to share with you a couple insights that will help you as you're navigating this situation. But for those of you watching, welcome, welcome to the live today. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you are joining from today. And what are some challenges you're having in the workplace, in your businesses, in your organizations? What issues, what challenges are you dealing with right now? Put them in the comments below. Bring me the hard situations, please. The challenging situations that you have not been able to figure out. Let's come up with some high stakes strategies to help you navigate those situations. I want to say hello to Hello Shopping LTD. Hello Shopping. How are you doing today? Welcome, welcome to the channel. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you are joining from today. And if you are dealing with any challenges, any issues as it relates to the professional world, how do you communicate? How do you have difficult conversations? How do you manage interruptions? How do you develop silence in a conversation? How can you enhance your executive presence? How can you negotiate your salary? Anything, friends. Bring me the hard situations and let me know what questions you have specifically. And let me know where you're joining from in the big, beautiful world today. All right, we have Mohammed. Hello, hope you're doing well today. Welcome, welcome. Now, specifically for the person that wanted me to do this live in terms of the topic, as I mentioned, when you're trying to elevate how you communicate, oftentimes you will find yourself in the in-between. The in-between is where you're communicating at a higher level and the people around you are not. And it makes it very difficult in terms of how do I continue to sharpen the skills that I am developing, but how do I maintain where I'm at right now? Well, a couple of things that I encourage this person to consider, and I wanted to mention it during the live today, is that when you are in those situations where you are elevating in terms of how you are communicating, it is going to be very important for you to continue developing your skill set. Meaning that you want to try to surround yourself around people that are communicating at a higher level, which is why, of course, you subscribe to the channel and interact with my amazing subscribers that are here on the channel that communicate at a higher level as well. That's number one. But if you are in a setting where perhaps you can't transition to a different level just yet, then it's going to be important for you to consider the interactions that you are having with other people in your specific setting. For example, this particular person, this gentleman, explained to me that the people he works with tend to talk in a very lax way. It's not articulate. They communicate in a way that involves a lot of cursing and a lot of slang. And he was just really struggling with not being drugged back down to the way that they communicate. And we talked about this, and I mentioned to him, limit your interactions with those individuals. Now, if you're in a workplace setting, there are certain activities or certain tasks that you're going to have to do to interact with people. However, if you're finding yourself trying to elevate and you're trying to communicate at a higher level, be mindful of the interactions that you have with people that are not quite at your level. For example, and I want to say hello to those of you watching the live today. Welcome, welcome. For example, if you know that you have a person that tends to talk a lot in your day-to-day conversations, and perhaps they are not communicating at that level where you are striving to be at, then try your best to find other things to do. You have other projects, you have other tasks and initiatives that you're working on. Always let that person know, I appreciate your conversation. I have a couple projects I need to start working on. Excuse me just a little bit. We can continue this another day. I would do as much as you can to deflect yourself away from those type of people, because you don't want to become that individual that's trying to elevate, trying to communicate at a higher level, trying to master the hot seat, and then be around people that are going to just bring you down really quickly. You don't want to do that, and the best way I've found to be successful in this is to not interact with those people as much as you normally would. For example, if you go into a break room, and I talk about this a lot on the channel, if you're dealing with break rooms, and you know break rooms are typically the place of gossip or random conversations for aspects of their lives that are not appropriate to be talking about in their workplace setting, but you and I both know it happens, doesn't it? Put in the comments below if you ever experienced that before. But it happens quite a bit. But you want to limit your interactions. Find somewhere else to go, eat in your vehicle, take a walk. Limit your amount of time with those individuals so that you can continue to maintain yourself in a more elevated state than being with people that are not. Now, ultimately, one of the things you have to consider when it comes down to this is that the environment that you are in may not be the environment for you moving forward. And those are hard conversations you have to have with yourself in terms of, where do I see myself? Where do I want to go? How do I want to elevate? I want to say hello to, I'm going to say Mahal Dances. That's what I'm going to say. I hope I said it correctly, but welcome to the live. But you may want to consider going to a different location. You may have to go to a different location. You may have to go to a different opportunity. Or if you're not in the position to do either one of those, then limit your interactions with those individuals and keep things very professional on your end. The key to communicating under pressure and communicating at a higher level than your peers and people that are around you is to be very consistent. This is critically important as it relates to communication, and it is very important as it relates to your executive presence, being a leader, and etc. Consistency is the path to success. Let me go to the chat and see what was said. So Hello Shopping asked how to get foreign fund. In terms of foreign funds, there's plenty of videos out there, friend, that talk about foreign funds and dollars and etc. and how to acquire them. This channel specifically focuses on the advanced communication skills that many people in the world have not been able to master. I focus more on high stakes, very high pressured situations where you have to think on your feet, you have to maintain eye contact, You have to control your tone of voice and your body language. Therefore, foreign funds is not something that I would talk about specifically on here, but there's a lot of different videos out there that more than likely go into it into a lot more depth than I would in the role that I'm in. Now, let me know in the comments below, what are some of the challenges that you're facing right now in terms of your workplace, your businesses, and etc. Those situations that are stressing you out, that are keeping you up. Thank you for the heart emojis, friends. That are keeping you up at night. What are they? Let's talk about them in the comments below. All right, James Freeman 892. High five, James. Good to see you, friend. Hope you're doing well today. James said, hey, beautiful. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. Appreciate the heart emojis as well. I've shared with you a strategy to help you if you find yourself in a situation where you're trying to elevate how you communicate, but you so happen to be in an environment where people are not at your level, or maybe perhaps they're not trying to communicate or enhance how they communicate. I've given you one strategy that I've shared with my clients, and I appreciate this gentleman specifically bringing this to me to talk about during the live. But I appreciate this because many times we talk about those advanced communication skills, as I mentioned a moment ago. How do you communicate at a higher level than your peers? How do you develop an unfair competitive advantage as to how you communicate under pressure? But we do not dive into what happens when you find yourself elevating, but you're in an environment that is not entirely conducive to you being able to communicate at that level that you're aspiring to. And this is a great conversation. And as I mentioned, the key is to be consistent in terms of how you communicate, but start to limit your interactions with some of those individuals that perhaps are communicating with you in a way that could be potentially dragging you down from the very high place that you are going to by subscribing to the channel. Now, if you're at a point where you know that this is an issue for you and you're struggling with it, I encourage you to reach out to me. Contact me on any social media platform where I have accounts. I will tell you that I spend more time on YouTube, of course, as many of you all know. I go live here on the channel at least 7 to 8 times a week. So this is my home. This is where I spend majority of my time. But I do have accounts on LinkedIn, and I also have an account on Instagram as well, Facebook, and TikTok. I have accounts there also, but I spend more of my time here on YouTube. So if you have something that comes up and you want me to do a video and give you a shout out in the video to discuss it, then put it in the comments on any one of the videos that you watch, and I will record a video for you depending on the depth of the conversation. Now, if it's something that is a bit sensitive that perhaps you don't want people to see in the comments, then that's why you reach out to me directly via direct message, either on LinkedIn or on Instagram. I check those messages, so feel free to reach out to me there. And you're always welcome to contact me on my website at exciteexcellence.org. I'm here to support you any way that I can on your journey. Please, as I mentioned earlier, come to me with the hard situations. I know how incredibly hard it is to be a leader, and it's hard to be a leader anywhere in the world, and it's definitely hard to be a leader that can communicate under pressure. As many of you know, most leaders, they know how to communicate. However, when the conversation goes under pressure and people are trying to figure out what to say and they're stumbling, that's my expertise, and that's what I want to help you to be successful in so that you stand out from everybody else. Let me know how I can support you. Let me know what other type of content you want to see on the channel. I do have some exciting news. I mentioned to many of you that I've been waiting on developing a couple of things. Many of you know, I'm developing a small studio here, and I finally have my second monitor that came in just now. Believe it or not, it's outside. And once I get everything set up, you will start seeing a lot more recorded content. I will still keep my live schedule, so don't worry about that. I still will be here for you all. But you'll start seeing a bit more recorded content that allows me the opportunity to use dual screens to be able to showcase people communicating in an exceptional way and people communicating in a way that is not ideal, so that when you are in those pressure situations and you feel as if you are experiencing a challenge, then you know I should communicate like this or I should not speak like this. I'm here to give you some great content here. Just let me know if you like the content, what are some aspects of it that you would like to learn more about, or what you want to see on the channel. I have a couple things in place where I can do a bit more more now. And I'm very excited about that. I want to be able to build the largest high stakes communication content library on planet Earth for leaders, as I've mentioned to you all before. And this is a fantastic way for us to start. Before we finish up, we are at 950 subscribers. This is a truly amazing YouTube milestone. For those of you that are YouTube content creators, many channels do not reach 1,000 subscribers. Actually, majority of them, they don't reach 1,000 subscribers. So the fact that we are at 950 says a lot about the channel, and it says a lot about you as being subscribers. I appreciate your support so much, and it allows us to reach more individuals once we reach to 1,000. I do want to get some insight from you, and 950 subscribers came up so quickly, I haven't even had a chance to post to you all about it. But I do want to know, what do you all want to do when we reach 1,000 subscribers? We have to figure something out, because that is going to be a big milestone. Let me know when I do a post on any of my platforms, what do you want us to do when we reach 1,000 subscribers? I have a couple of ideas, but I do want to hear from my amazing audience in terms of, what do you want to see when we reach 1,000 subscribers? Put it in the comments below or contact me directly. Let's figure out something unique for us to do in the social media world. Let me know what questions you have, and I'll see you all